Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So it's very important as the midterms approach that we talk about the issues and the factors that could really sway late deciders and voters that really haven't decided who they're going to vote for yet, mainly the undecided 11% of the aggregate, mainly independent voters. And Rasmussen did this poll of only independent likely voters showing which issues they are most concerned with. And the mainstream media and a lot of the left would like to have you believe that a lot of voters, even independents, are riled up about abortion. Yet abortion is less of an issue, according to independents, than even election integrity is. 64% are concerned. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are all pro-abortion. Many people are concerned with the issue of abortion that happen to be anti-abortion. And they are likely going to be voting Republican. However, even if you want to say those concerned now tend to lean a little bit more left, it's not even a top 8 issue for independents. And this is true. And technically, if you want to combine inflation, high gas prices and the economy together, that's fine. But still, it is far from the top issue that voters care about. A lot of voters right now care about their safety. They care about their pocketbooks. And in terms of the border crisis, in terms of, violent crime on the rise, we're going to be discussing that in the next video I will do, which talks about what the strategy should be moving forward for the Republicans if they want to capitalize on their gains. But still, the economy is front and center for most voters right now. Biden's approval is still underwater. And I'm going to show you guys why it seems as if there is going to be some sort of downturn in the economy between now and the midterms. It's not looking good, especially with hurricane season kicking in. And if Biden bungles that, which a lot of people aren't really talking about, it is very, very possible that Republicans could gain in October as well. But first, I have to tell you guys about our latest sponsor over at Private Internet Access. Privacy on the web is very important, and there is no better way to ensure your privacy than to have a VPN. Private Internet Access is the world's most transparent VPN provider with over 30 million downloads. They have 10 years of VPN expertise and run on 100% open source software. Private Internet Access works with all major streaming services, so you have unrestricted access to all your favorite content anywhere in the world. It's available with all platforms: Windows, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and many more. And while helping safeguard your online privacy, their VPN software also blocks ads, trackers, and malicious websites. By using the link in the description or pinned comment below, you can grab an 82% discount. That's just $2.11 per month, and you get 3 extra months completely free. It's risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so act now. You won't regret it. So like I said at the beginning of this video, the economy is still front and center for the midterms. That doesn't mean that it's the only issue. It doesn't mean that you can only win by talking about the economy. Of course, if anything, it'd be the opposite. Only talking about the economy can only get you so far. And Republicans should capitalize off of, cultural issues the way that Youngkin did in Virginia in 2021. And he was able to turn out the Trump base and still have a respectable showing in the suburbs to win a Biden plus 10 plus state. So still, the economy is an important issue ahead of the midterms, and we are not in a good state of the economy right now. People will say, well, the unemployment rate is low. But in 2006, when Democrats had their biggest blue wave in recent history, one could say, in the House, they won the generic ballot by like 12 points. Bush's approval was super low. The unemployment rate was 4.6%, and there already were some cracks in the surface that were starting to show, or 4.5 technically nationwide. And right now, the unemployment rate is comparable to that. It's below 4%. It's been going up a little bit recently, which proves that we could potentially be in an unstable economy. And the stock market would agree with that. We had record highs in the stock market earlier this year. We hit 36.5 thousand in the Dow average. Then it's been down since then. You saw February, it went down to 33, 32. It went back up a little bit again. Oh, nope, 35. Nope, down again, down to 31. Oh, it's going back up. Oh, it's peaking around 33,000. Not so fast, below 30K. Then it went back up again, and it's going back down again. Significant shifts there. But the overall trajectory over the past year has been a downward spiral on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which definitely shows that stocks are decreasing. And contrary to popular belief, most Americans own stocks, and most Americans will put the blame for the stock market on the current leadership, because the stock market is something that reacts to certain actions taken. Went down again. It's going down in real time. It may go below 29,000 in this video. It's crazy what's happening right now in the Dow, but that's not the only indicator. Remember, gas prices were going down again, and they still are down from earlier this year, but still, they're going up. And Biden's approval rating was going up a little bit in RCP as gas prices went down. But you look at it, just type it in gas prices. You'll see all the articles here. Madison gas prices soar. That's Wisconsin, a swing state. Detroit News, another swing state. Michigan, average Michigan gas price rises 13 cents after falling for 3 straight months. And you're starting to see this massive shift. You know, you saw gas prices were going down. It got easier to go to the pump, but gas is going up a little bit recently. We don't know if that's going to continue, but some people are saying that it's going to continue into October. It's going to continue into early November. That's not going to be good news for Democrats whatsoever, because gas prices are an important indicator of how people are satisfied with the economy, because that's one of the largest commodities that Americans buy besides food prices. And if you look at the inflation rate for food, it went down a little bit last month. The curve was flattened, 8.3% inflation instead of 8.5% inflation. Wow. And it's like, this is embarrassing that this is something that this administration is touting as a win of sorts. I don't see it whatsoever. And you're looking at this right now. You're seeing the economy is in a way in shambles compared to a couple of years ago. And this is true. You have more people that are being paid not to work. You have inflation going up significantly. You have gas prices going up significantly. And if you're making like $250,000+ a year, it's not probably going to affect you that much. But if you are, only getting by on 50 grand a year or so, whatever the American average for the median household income is, let's $60-some thousand a year, that's going to be tough, especially as, gas goes up. Food prices and many commodities are doubling right now. You talk about, coffee, steak, whatever, they're through the roof. And then you have your savings dipping because the stock market is going down. This is not looking good. And this is an issue that Republicans will likely capitalize on. Not the only issue they're going to capitalize on, but it is an issue. And could the housing market be in limbo right now? I think the answer is yes, because home prices fell for the first time in a decade. It is very possible that the bubble could burst soon. I'm not saying it's going to burst before November, but still, it's not going to be a good look for Biden's presidency. And we could just be witnessing a repeat in a way of 2008 leading up to 2024. And that is also something that needs to be taken into consideration as we look to the 2024 election, because 2008 was also a blue wave year, kind of how 2006 was. It's very possible that 2024 could be a repeat of 2022, which would be very good news to Trump if he is the Republican nominee. But beyond that point, you're just looking at all of the metrics. This is another metric here. The 10-year U.S. Treasury bond is on pace for its worst year in history, with a loss of almost 16%. Last year, it was down by 4.4%. Again, you look at the returns on bonds, you look at the returns in the stock market. It is not looking good for this administration whatsoever. So we're sitting up here 42 days away from probably one of the most important midterm elections in U.S. history. People like to say that every cycle, maybe because it becomes true every single cycle. And the economy is in turmoil, potentially could get in a lot more turmoil over the next couple of months or so. And you look at the fact that Republicans are surging in many Senate races in the polls. They've taken the lead in some races in the polls. They really seem to be in a decent position to take back the House and have some sort of a decent majority. And that can only increase here if this continues, because this is essentially the October surprise that we have. And the economy, especially with hurricane season, could get worse in certain places. We really don't know what's about to happen. But usually when the economy starts to, become in turmoil, what area is really affected the most? It's mainly the Rust Belt. And there's a lot of swing states in the Rust Belt. You have the Wisconsin Senate race there and the governorship there. I believe both of those are pretty much certain to go right at this point. But you also have the Michigan governorship there. Maybe it could become a little bit more competitive and Dixon could pull off an upset. And then you look at Pennsylvania, you have a governor's race there, you have a Senate race there. Fetterman would be somebody that would probably vote for Biden's policies 100% of the time if he's in the United States Senate. Oz will be that bulwark against the agenda to a certain degree, and that's definitely going to help him. It's going to help differentiate the two. And it's important to note that as we look forward to the midterms, everything will be put on this administration because they are the current leadership. Whether people think that that is fair to say it's all their fault or not, it doesn't matter, because voters typically want change. Undecided voters will want change of the current status quo if the current status quo is not really working for them or is not presiding over a decent economy. So as we move forward to the midterms, it's important to keep in mind the economic issue, because our economy is in turmoil by many metrics. And we will talk about cultural issues. We will talk about the border. We will talk about crime, all of that in tomorrow's video. But it's important to keep the economy in mind as we move forward, because it could get very ugly, because nothing will really shift a political climate like an economic downturn. And the cracks in the surface have been showing for a long time, but it is very possible that the cracks could get way, way deeper over the next couple of weeks or so. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.